This is a League of Legends cinematic. It takes about 1 year to do and dozens of insanely talented artists. However, cinematics only get released once a year, meaning next cinematic is gonna be out in 9 months. But don't worry, I'm here for you guys. I will be creating my own League of Legends cinematic entirely in CG, completely alone and using Unreal Engine. I'm still learning 3D and I started using Unreal 3 months ago, so it's gonna be interesting. My goal is to make my cinematic as cool and realistic as the real ones, just a little shorter because it takes a lot of time. I will be focusing on one of my favorite champs, Twisted Fate, the card master. For those who don't know the game, it's a champion that throws cards at people and steals money from little creatures. Okay, I gather all the references I can find online and I start my work creating the best mesh for the character. For this, I use Character Creator 4, which is like Sims, but for professionals. I try to match the face and the body as closely as possible to the reference. I have to watch it from many angles to do an accurate job. Trust me, it's harder than it looks. Now you might ask, why is he naked? Well, because I want to customize my character from top to bottom. We'll have hats, clothes and shoulder pads. We'll make everything from scratch in Marvelous Designer and Blender. But before, we need to do the body animation. But there is one problem. I don't know how to animate. Wait, is that Wukong? Okay, well, I need to practice. Cascadeur allows you to basically make everything easier. It automatically creates all the secondary motion you need for a realistic result. But it was still very hard to do. I had to do animation all over again 3 times before having a decent result. It looks easy, but it's so hard. I spent almost 2 days full time just doing an 8-second animation. Now that we have the animation, we can work on the clothes. It was my first time using Marvelous Designer, and I can say it's pretty easy to understand. But if you want to make something a bit crazy, it's pretty damn hard. I'm pretty stupid because the character I took has 4 layers of clothes, so my computer was literally burning. And now that we have the final clothes, we can add the animation and bake the clothes simulation to transfer into Unreal. Okay, I have to change my animation because the hand is destroying my clothes. So I need to re-export my animation and re-import it inside Marvelous and redo the whole animation with clothes. I had to do many back and forth to get a decent result. But it kinda works, so now we need to make the hat and the shoulder pad. I don't know how it's named, I'm French, so tell me if it's correct. The hat was pretty simple to do. Just extrude a circle, add some vertices and use proportional editing. And it's good. The shoulder pad was another problem because I didn't know how to do it at all. I stumbled upon a Pringles tutorial and it was pretty much the same shape, so I made it this way. I don't model a lot, so it was a pretty good challenge. I then put everything together. I'm pretty happy with the results as it's my first time making a character identity from basically nothing. Hat is easy to animate because it follows a head bone, but shoulder pads are so hard to animate. The right way to do it is to white paint it and stuff, but I'm too lazy, so I just animated it by hand and it was good enough for me. I try not to waste too much time on problems and focus on getting stuff done. Now we have to make the beard. It was way harder than I thought. The beard is tricky because it has to follow the mouse movement, so you can't just attach it to the character. You need to add it as a groom binding, but Unreal decided not to bind it correctly, so I had to manually make guesses in Blender and re-export it each time to find the right fit. And it finally worked. And even better, it has real-time simulation and follows the mouse. Now we can finally start to have fun. I make a rough block out of what I think looks cool, with the camera and the animation. Once I'm happy, I can focus on the environment and the lighting. But first, we need to take a look at the cinematics and understand how they make the environment. Short answer, they don't. This is a still from 10 years ago and this one from this year. Spot the difference? In the new video, there is less contrast and less shades of color. The easy fix is to add tons of haze and use similar colors in the background. The background we can't really see. There is no distractions and colors are pretty much the same. And this made me happy because I didn't want to spend 2 weeks designing an environment. With this in mind, I started working. I wanted a mix of the usual Rift look and of Bilgewater, which is a native region of Twisted Fate. I was about to do it from scratch, but then I remembered I don't have patience. I decided to mostly use this fantasy bundle asset that was free. Quick tip, there is some free stuff like that every month in the Unreal Engine Epic Store, so I highly recommend you to check it out. I also used the Megascan assets to make the floor and the little foliage on the ground. When I was finally happy, I rendered the shots, added some grain, some glow, nice colors, and after 2 weeks of hard work and mental breakdown, here is the result.